Okay, welcome back. Today's knife is going to be what I'm going to call a 1980-ish to 85 Angler. So today we would look at this knife not having pliers and call it a fisherman. But up until about the late 80s, or excuse me, late 70s, the fisherman would have been the same knife but with a Phillips screwdriver here. If it had the corkscrew, it was considered the Angler. Outside of that, they're the exact same tool. It's kind of the difference between the Spartan and the Tinker. The scales could be red or blue. The blue is a little more collectible. And I would like to point out that I believe this is that nickel silver or something, maybe even stainless steel, on the fish label, because you can kind of catch your fingernail on it, and it's clearly not hot rolled or printed or anything. It's a true inlay. So getting into it, still a 4-layer knife, still 91 millimeter, still roughly 1 inch tall, still about 3/4 of an inch wide. On the back layer, we'll note that we have the pre-91 location of the key ring being on the corkscrew layer. And we do have a 4-turn fluted corkscrew. We have our post 1961, pre 1985 reamer, all with the sharpened edge, with no sewing eye. Get into our standard opening layer. We have a can opener with a precision screwdriver, but we are missing the Swiss pat stamp. So that's what makes me think this is at least like a 1980-1981 beginning date on the knife. But on our cap lifter here, there's no 90-degree stop. Still have our hollow ground screwdriver with the wire bender, but we're missing our wire stripper. So again, another indication that this is a post 1980 knife. Get to our scissors. We do have the screw, so that's a pre-92 feature with no spring guiding groove, but this spring is blued instead of stainless or polished metal or what have you, but that could be a replacement. Our fish scaler does have the scale on it, and it should probably have the magnetic tip, but the magnetism isn't working. So this style of fish scaler and hooked gouger was brought about in 1975 and lasted till about 1986, 85, 86 time frame. You have your standard main blade. And this one does have Victorinox Switzerland stainless Rossfry on the tang stamp with nothing on the back. So again, once I get into dating off of tang stamps, that may be able to help us narrow this one down a little bit. We have our post 73 spear point blade. Our tweezers here, they're your standard tweezers. They do have the post 78, or excuse me, pre 78 stainless tip on it, or aluminum tips on them. But again, these can easily be replaced. And if I can get it out, we have our toothpick. So again, I'm calling this a 1980 to 1985 based on the lack of the Swiss Pat on the can opener and the lack of a 90-degree stop on the cap lifter, until I figure out more as far as tang stamp dating. Alrighty, appreciate your time. Stay tuned. Be nice to one another.